Check, check. Are we live? Check, check. Are we live? Check, check. Oh, we're getting feedback. What we got in here? What's up, dude? So I just wanted to come on here. It's been a while since I did a live stream and see how everybody's doing and try to remelt some copper. Last time we failed at melting copper. What's up, Romatic? Jake FL, my mom. Happy Mother's Day to my mom and all the other moms out there. I know it's probably going to be a slow day because of Mother's Day, but it's been a while. Watching from Okeechobee, Florida. That's interesting. I know someone that was just there. So what we're going to do today is attempt to melt copper live. We failed the first time. I think we did it the second time, but it wasn't live. And we're going to use the big ingot maker that I made. Now, we're going to have to melt. We're going to have to fill that crucible pretty much to the brim. And I know some people said you shouldn't do that, but that's the only way we're going to be able to fill out this big ingot maker until I get a bigger furnace, which we're probably going to make our own. Who else we got in here? What's up, E-Waste Jill, Tim Williams? Did I just see someone says they're watching from the UK? Gaskell? What's up, man? All right. Warren, Ohio. What's up? So I'm going to go out here. I'm going to fill this thing a little more. I actually cut some of this. I had some big, I think that was like 300 MCM. We just did a video on, you'll see coming up shortly. I saved a couple pieces, ingot, but I cut the lengths too long. It was sticking up higher than my crucible, so I had to recut it. I'm going to fill the thing up, get that started, and then get in here and talk to you guys for a second. Thing's already warm. So hopefully, because we're using the cleanest copper you can get, basically, we shouldn't have any slag. We should be able to get a nice ingot going. Now, I did preheat that, so it's kind of hot already. Uh-oh. Okay, I'm going to get that melting, and then, and someone got me an awesome giant spoon, although we're not going to have a lot of slag, I don't think. And I do have some borax. Let me know if I should be using that stuff. I mean, I don't think so. This is all clean copper. Where'd my torch go? All right, we got that cooking. I was not able to get. I didn't have time to try to look into getting a different regulator. Um, can you guys hear me? Okay, is this coming all right in the mic? What's up, Jamie from Scotland? Barry, Dan. Good afternoon from Wisconsin. Have you ever seen Big Stack use borax with clean copper? No, not. I don't know. Not really. I have that for. If we have enough time, maybe I'll melt some aluminum. I got some more of that aluminum, that dirty stuff that we did last time, and I do have some extruded back here somewhere we could melt. I don't need borax with clean copper. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay. What will be the weight of the ingot? So a couple people had mentioned going off the weight of my aluminum ingot, which was, I think, 4, or I forget what it was, but some people said it might be around 10 or over 10 pounds. So I'm excited for that. Where in Florida are you? I have family in Florida. Lewis Towers. I'm in Palm Beach, Florida. We are not too far from Trump, actually. So, yeah, I got a couple good videos coming up. We did another, it was probably 10 months ago, maybe almost a year ago. We did a demo on the beach right down the street from Trump at Mar-a-Lago, and we went back there and I pulled 9 AC units out. So we got a cool video of that coming up. And then I did a nice video with the 2 wire strippers. And that's where this wire came from. Okay. And yeah, I have a lot of stuff coming up here shortly. Check something out. It's starting to change colors. But I don't remember if I had to put the air to that. Last time, I know one time I had to put some like forced induction. Let's see here. My great uncle, aunt, and uncle lives in West Palm. That's cool. What's up, Ford Galaxy from Greece? That's awesome. Big Stack did use borax in a few early videos, but he did realize you don't really need it for most things. Yeah. I mean, it probably would have came in handy with that dirty aluminum. But I spooned all that stuff off pretty good. And that ingot, I mean, for my first like real aluminum pour, I think those ingots came out great. And I think what I'm going to do is modify that ingot maker because I figured a way of, and you could see in the videos I was having concerns of how I'm going to actually hold the ingot so that I can mill it on my milling machine. And what I'm going to do is modify the ingot maker so that it has something that I can grab onto that I will, on the last operation, pretty much cut off. So what do I plan on doing with the ingots? A couple things. I want to sell them, but I also want to do something with them for my customers and potential future customers, which I'll get into in a video once I can actually get the final product I'm looking for. I'm not just making nice looking ingots for no reason. There's a method behind the madness. So Rixie's Metals, what's up? Thanks for joining the stream. Would you sell to fans special merch? Yeah, matter of fact, we're going to have some merchandise coming up here soon, and an ingot is going to be part of that. We're going to do another live pour probably, and then I'm going to pick someone in the comments somehow. I was talking with Silverlicious. He had a really good idea on how to basically do a giveaway. So, and also for those of you guys that are on Instagram, I'm going to be doing things over there. So if you can go and give a follow and like over on Project Shop FL on Instagram, we'll be doing a giveaway there too as well once I get everything set up. The only metal you need borax with is brass. For aluminum, just spoon off the garbage. Yeah, that seemed to work pretty good last time, just spooning off the garbage. So the borax with the brass, what is that going to do? Push impurities up to the top or something? I thought you had to put that with anything that was like dirty and had paint or stuff like that. It's interesting how everybody was telling me that brass is toxic or something when you melt it. I actually have some in here that I've been saving, because I want to make pretty much an ingot of all the different metals that I can, or that we can melt with this little thing, which I'm pretty sure is probably only going to be brass, aluminum, and copper. Yeah, scrapyards don't like buying ingots. That's exactly right, because they don't know what's in it. Oh, you hear that? Hold on a second. Something funny's going on with the thing. Just hoping we don't blow myself up over here. Hey, what's up, Roger? See you scrapping. You got lots of wire to strip today? That's awesome, dude. I hope you're doing good over there, man. Yeah, something's up with this little thing. It makes 3 different noises. One, like right now, I can hear it's making a different pitch. Like in the beginning, it was running like it sounded like it should be, but then all of a sudden it'll make a weird noise, and then sometimes it sounds like the flame is actually like fluttering or getting back down in the tube. Is that thing coming in loud? Let me turn this mic away from all that craziness. My mic is directional, so I can kind of shield stuff. Bronze, brass? I think bronze is a mixture of brass and copper. Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure. Technically, brass is a type of bronze. The white smoke from melting brass is tin oxide, not good to breathe. Yeah, I don't think anything's really good to be breathing coming out of the furnace. Dominique from the Netherlands, what's up, man? That's awesome. Brass is copper, tin. Brass is copper zinc of aluminum. Tin and copper. That's what bronze is. Oh, I have so I'm going to be doing a huge contact. I have some 1,000 amp breakers, some 600 amp breakers, and they have huge, like, giant silver contacts on them. And we're going to be melting them down and making. I don't think I have enough to make that big ingot, but the small ingot that came, the ingot maker that came with the thing is probably going to be sufficient enough. We're going to make some silver ingots as well. Bronze is brass, just a higher copper content. Okay. So I guess we can just make our own if we melt down some brass and drop some copper into it. I wonder what the percentage is. Where's the gold? Yeah, I got a bunch of gold around here somewhere. Gold finger boards. I need to melt that down and make something with it. So that copper, when I was just over there, it looked like it was starting to glow. Oh, you know what? I got to put the ingot maker on there to heat it up. So that's another thing I was thinking of. You know how you heat the molds up? What if you got the mold like hot enough? I was actually thinking about, like, with this incinerator I got, because it has two big chambers, like having the molds in like a second chamber to where when you pour it, you could just keep it in there for a little bit and keep it molten until it settles and maybe all the pitting and stuff comes out of it. And then me and Steve were actually talking about making some type of vibration, slight, like almost like a what do you call that? Ultrasonic vibration, I guess, to shake any stuff out of it or get it to settle, just so that it sits in that form really good. I was actually surprised how good that aluminum one, the second aluminum one that I did, how it came out. What's up, Harry from the UK? Can you melt the metals from a catalytic converter? That's rhodium and palladium. You know what, man? I don't know. That's funny you ask, because literally the neighbor just asked me the other day to borrow a air hammer to knock out the core from that. I should have asked him to keep that stuff. I don't know if this little thing would get hot enough to melt that stuff, because that stuff is made to be in there in the exhaust. Be careful the cadmium content in melting those relays, usually 5 to 15%. Will that come off as slag, or will it just kind of still be mixed in there with it? I guess that's toxic. Is that what you're saying? What's dangerous? Yeah, I know the converter's got palladium, but I don't know. Oh, 2800. Yeah. Yeah, we ain't there yet. We're barely enough. I don't even think we're cracking 2000 with this thing. This thing is at the very limits of cats are nasty stuff to deal with. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, and you know the Harry 111, the prices of those things. I was talking to a guy, like I've never sold one, but apparently it all goes by the serial number that's on them. You know, they're not all worth the same. Some could be worth $20, some could be worth 200 or more, which I guess is why people risk going around and stealing them. They literally got the guy down here at the end of the block here. There's a, or they moved out, but it used to be a landscape company. And they cut the cats off of like 3 or 4 of their vehicles. They fixed it. And then like 2 months later, they came back and got them again. So they must have had some high dollar cats on that stuff, man, because they were with it. And I've seen all kinds of crazy contraptions people are doing um, to save, people from stealing those cats. Melting the cat metal is the easy part. Refining is not so. Not worth your time. Yeah. So how are you going to separate the different metals? Okay. So the silver, it's an alloy, so it's going to be in there. Is it going to be? Is it going to be something you could sell, or just have it at that 5 to 15%, or whatever you said it was? 1985 is the Fahrenheit. Yeah, this furnace over here, um, it's not. I mean, copper is like the limit, and it barely melts copper. I'm going to be shocked if we actually get a decent pour out of this today. Um, we got some real thieves here in the UK who do it. They tried to get yours, man. That sucks. Is Bear Bright copper 100% copper? You know what? I asked. I was actually going to take that ingot Sculler Metal sent me because he stamped in it 999 fine copper or whatever. And I'm not questioning him. I just would like to see what it actually comes out, because I know he melted it from I think he melted it from electric motor wind-ins. But I was asking a guy in Miami who has one of them $30,000 X-ray guns, and he said that sometimes, I mean, he shot bright and shiny copper and it didn't come back 100% copper. Like there might be something mixed in it, but electric grade copper is 99.99. Yeah, I'm sure that's going to be the purest copper you can get. And from what I understand, like that wire, like any of the pure stuff, like the wire will never be wire again. Like they always use it to make like copper pipe, which is why it's always a number one, because it's an alloy. It's actually harder and rigid. So they're mixing it with stuff. What else we got here? Empire Fines, what's up, dude? Just hustling. Big love from Manchester, UK. I love the internet, man. I get to talk to all you guys from all over the place. It's really amazing. Bright and shiny copper wires, 99. So, all right, I'm gonna do a video down there in Miami. I'll probably be going there Monday or Tuesday, or maybe Tuesday. Um, I'm gonna see if he can shoot some wire just to see on camera what it says. But I'm pretty sure that's going to be the purest type of wire you can get. So let me check on this thing real quick, see if we got anything going on. Probably shouldn't have done that, but can't see it, but there's some flames. I can almost see the flame. You probably can't see it on camera. Oh, what's happening here? Do you think you could do lead ingots? Oh yeah, I think this thing will easily melt lead. Lead melts really low. Actually, I got some do I still have the lead? I took apart a battery one time on the channel. And I don't know if I still have that lead or not. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a melt on pretty much everything that this little thing can melt will melt. And then I haven't decided. I think what I'm going to do is modify this ingot. I'm going to bore, like I'm going to cut slots in the bottom all the way through and weld another plate because that's 1/2-inch plate. So I'll have a 1/2-inch chunk to grab onto with a vise, and then I can mill the top of it. And then I'm going to have to make a custom jaws, almost like soft jaws. I might actually make them out of copper to hold the copper, so that I can fly cut the ingots. They're gonna it's gonna be I almost need a vise that can be put on an angle. We'll look into all that. But I want perfect ingots. Like I like the one that Sculler Metal sent me. That's nice, but it still has all the the rough stuff, and it looks like it's got layers in it. I want to get rid of all this, and that's why I think having almost like a I've thought of having like a 2-tier, because I think even like with these things here, there's a lot of wasted energy. Like I could almost put like an afterburner on top of it, and inject some more oxygen and fuel, and have like another layer where we can put, once we pour it in the mold, we can put it up there and keep it up at a certain temperature, and let everything settle out of it. Because I noticed like on some pours, even the little tiny copper ingot I did. Hold on, let me go get it. We got all the ingots here. We can see the evolution. So this is the one Sculler Metal sent with to me, which is awesome. Copper King Project Shop, the original Florida's original mofo, and then he's got 999 fine copper on there. 8 pounds. Sculler metals. That's cool. It looks like he's got a custom stamp or something. But like, so you see on the sides where it looks like there's melt layers almost. See that? Now, I'm sure that could have been sanded out. But I think, and then I guess that was probably the top. But I think I can get rid of most of that in a secondary process. And then you can see the one I poured. See how it has like that layer? Like that. I need to clean this one up a little more. I'm not going to do anything other than probably clean this up and maybe clear coat it. But I'm not going to sand it or polish it or whatever. But this is just my first ingot. And then you can see that there. Like, I think if this went into like a secondary while it's in the mold, I can get rid of a lot. So this was my first ingot, which actually this aluminum one came out really nice. You know? Aluminum seems to be easier to pour than copper. This one kind of got wonky because my thing out here is on an angle. But even this one has like things down here, you know, but it does have nice crisp edges. And then this one came, other than it sinking here, this one came out awesome. Like, this is what I'm going for. Really nice crisp edges, okay? But even this one has like somewhere on here, it actually has the, over here, there's actually like an indent in the mold, and that came through, but that'll come out in the milling process. This is something weird that happened. It was almost like there was a hard piece or something in there. See that? But like the little, you know, how do you get rid of stuff like that? See that? The little, looks like an air pocket or something. I'm telling you, man, we're going to have, when I'm done messing with this, like this imperfection here, we're gonna be melting down the best looking ingots. Someone suggested I might remelt this one, but this is the first ingot in the big ingot maker, so I think I'm just gonna leave it and kind of put it on the wall as like how messed up it looks. But once we get these things dialed in and perfect, we're gonna be giving them away. And there's something I'm gonna be doing to the top of them, in addition to making them, fly cutting them. And then for my customers, I'm going to be doing something kind of special for them individually. So having a either like a laser engraver or something, or a CNC router is going to be part of what we're going to be doing here. Okay, what do we got here? You chemically, Empire finds, you chemically recovered copper knit. What is that? Long ago, and it's definitely 5/9. Chemically recovered it from what? You you want a perfect bar, you will have to roll the metal. You will always get off gassing when pouring. Getting an almost perfect ingot is almost next to impossible. The lines on the side of the copper ingots are called flow lines. Yeah, well, what I'm thinking is if we pour it in the mold and then put the mold back into something that's going to keep it up at a temperature, maybe it'll do something. We're gonna at least try. Or we're just gonna pour oversize and mill them down a little bit. But I want to be able to put I want to be able to have this in the vise on the mill and put my dial indicator and run it down here and it just be 0. And then we're going to do something cool with the top. And then there's going to be some other ingots. I'm going to be doing we're just going to be doing all kinds of different things. They're just not going to be regular ingots. You know, you can get those anywhere. These are going to be project shop ingots. They're going to be next level. It's going to be a work in progress, but, you know, we're going to strive for that Rocket Man 531. We're going to strive for that perfect ingot. We're going to get close to it as possible. We might just invent a whole new process of getting there. All right, let me check on this thing. This thing's over there smoking. Okay. It's getting to that point where it's about to be sweating. So hopefully it will be. And that ingot maker has some WD-40 in it. Someone was saying that Mount Baker Mining and Metal sprays his ingot mold or molds with WD-40. What about making coins? Yeah, you know, I was thinking about making something and stamping the coin, like making a bar and then actually stamping a coin with my 100-ton press. Like I could probably make a jig that I can make, you know, maybe 4 coins at a time, or just pour them. I like the idea of stamping it. You seen him do that with the WD-40? What does the WD-40 do? Is it going to catch on fire? That thing's over there smoking right now. I don't know if you can see it on that second camera. Maybe it's just to help it release. I don't know, but I did have a bunch of people commenting on one of my other videos. I am going to weld a handle to that. There's actually going to be a couple mods I'm going to do to that particular mold right there. One, I'm probably going to go ahead and mill like a 1/4 inch recess, like halfway through on the top face, all the way around, just so when I flip it over, it's not banging up the inside of the mold. You know, it'll take the, and then I'm going to cut things in the bottom. Hello from France. Thanks, man. That's awesome. It helps to release it. Okay. So that thing's got a huge angle on it. I don't see how the ingot could get stuck in there once it cools down a little bit. When that metal hot, you can stamp it real easy. I think with the 100-ton press I have, that 100-ton cylinder, I don't think it's gonna need anything. It's just gonna need some metal under there. It puts a carbon layer in the mold. Mount Baker Mining uses a cone mold. Yeah, I've seen that. They got me that spoon for my Fruit Loops in the morning. I do have a big spoon somewhere. Everybody said I need a big spoon. Now, I don't think there's going to be slag on this. So I don't know if I'm going to even need the spoon. I mean, there might be something. That thing is really glowing in there. I think the first time I was trying to melt copper, I was just messing with it too much. And kept letting all the heat out of it. Add more copper. It hasn't even started to melt yet. I mean, it's getting to that point. Once it starts getting molten, I'm gonna fill that thing to the top. I'm gonna need to because that mold is going to take every bit of what that crucible can have. Okay. What's up, John Daly? Hey, man, I appreciate that knife. I use it all the time. Keep the fans rolling for Fumes? Yeah. So right now, there's a breeze. The breeze was already coming through the shop, blowing out the front door. And then I do have two fans, one in the back door and then one right next to me, blowing them fumes out. I don't even smell that thing right now. I got to try to add it fast. Mount Baker uses WD-40 inside his cone mold for smelting or not pouring ingots. Interesting. What's up, Scrappin' Irish? I see you guys live all the time on my thing. I check in on you guys once in a while. Yeah, so as soon as this kind of melts, I'm going to just keep adding until we're like at capacity. I know that's probably not a good idea, but we're going to need all of it. Like that mold took just about every bit of that aluminum last time. And look what happened. Like there wasn't even enough. It got this huge indent down in there. See that? So I want to pour as much as possible. I don't like these round edges at the top. Feels like it's sucked in. It got nice sharp edges at the bottom though. That's what I'm going for. But I might have to, like I could take this and just, fly cut that down. Problem is holding an ingot and a vise, your vise is coming in like this. The ingot is on that. This has a 15-degree angle. So what I'm going to do is I'm making a modification to this mold or a new one where there'll be extra pieces in the bottom. I'm going to have to mill them in so they're perfect. And then I can just clamp at the bottom, do my top cut. We can do this cut and all of these cuts here with, I guess we could do like angle blocks or something. And then this cut at the bottom is where I'm going to have to make a custom, something that'll grab it here without, like I don't want it touching this edge because I want the edge to stay sharp like that. If we clamp on that, it could deform it, Copper and aluminum is soft, so we're going to have to come up with a process of doing it without damaging it. It took you an hour to melt copper? Yeah, this furnace is slow as molasses over here. And I don't think I'm getting the right pressure I should be having. The regulator's messed up. It's Chinese. It already fell apart. I'm surprised it's not just blowing. Oh, I should have checked that. Last time I hooked it up to the tank, it was it smelled like propane. It was leaking propane right out of the regulator or where you couple it up. .3D print tooling to sit the ingot in. Yeah. So I was just gonna make some bars of copper like this, but longer, and then mill that 15-degree angle in there so that the soft copper will grab the side like this. But I don't want it touching the edge. I want it touching here. And I want it to sit down on it, so it's sitting down and then getting pushed in on the side here. So it'll be like that kind of, but not touching the sharp edge, I don't have a 3D printer. That's on the list of things I need. A 3D printer, a laser engraver, and a 3D router. And then we're gonna be doing some next level stuff up here. What is Golden Nordic? Tank? Yeah, I'm definitely thinking about a bigger furnace. I have this incinerator out here. It gets to 1,000 degrees Celsius, which is almost copper melting territory. I'm pretty sure it'll melt aluminum. There was some aluminum cans in there that they melted. And but I think I can modify. It's got these really high-end Becken burners on it, like with forced induction built right into it and fuel injected. So we're going to be modifying them or just adding a custom burner to it. I don't know. But I think we can step it up a couple notches. And that thing is huge. I mean, I could put like 5-gallon bucket crucibles in there. And ultimately, I want to be able to melt something that big. So I don't know how much a 5-gallon bucket would weigh, like that size. But when I used to chop copper, I could get 180 pounds of chops in a 5-gallon bucket, which is pretty cool. I got about the same furnace. Yeah, so it's slow, huh? High and let it fly. Yeah, so I had that incinerator. It's only like 5 or 6 years old. Came from the Boca private airport. They're like $38,000, $36,000, something like that. They're over $30,000. And I had it on Marketplace. I got a couple people that wanted, and I only have it on there for $5,000. And I figured either, I'll take the $5,000 for it, or I'm going to modify it into one of the baddest furnaces on YouTube, which I think is going to be a better, in the long run, it's going to work out better than me just getting $5,000 for it. Because I had a couple people trying to lowball me, and I'm just like, you know what, dude, go find one somewhere else for that price. They're not going to. Scrap father, scrap son. What's up, dude? What do you recommend I use to cut MRI open? They have about 1,000 pounds of copper in them. I've never scrapped one before, but I mean, I'm assuming they're probably made of aluminum and probably a bunch of plastic. I just go to work on that thing with a torch. Nordic gold is a mixture of metals that Big Stack D pours. No gold. So what is it? Just a bunch of his leftover stuff he pours in a mixed metal? Rex, good morning from New Zealand. What's up, New Zealand? Make some 15-degree blocks. Yeah. Yeah, that way I can just put the ingot down in there. But then it's gonna kick. Oh, I guess no, it'll hold it straight up. That's right. That's what I'm gonna need, because I'm gonna need to set it in there like this a couple times. And then only this one and this one will just get fly cut. All right, let's check on this. We got to be getting close. That stuff has been cooking for a while. We got some heat coming off of it. I think that furnace is just like, it's literally at its capacity. It's been at that same level for a while. How long have we been on here? 55 minutes. I probably started in the first 10 minutes, so it's been like 40 minutes. That thing's been cooking. I wonder if I might have to set up some force induction on that thing. We'll give it to the 1 hour mark, and if nothing happens, we're gonna pump some oxygen to it. Coins are made from Nordic gold. What's up, Romania? So the MRIs are aluminum and stainless steel. Once you get the shell off, they weigh about 15 to 30,000 pounds. Wow. That sounds like a good deal, man. Nordic gold is a composition is 89% copper, 5% aluminum, 5% zinc, and 1% tin. Okay. Seems like a lot of stuff to be mixing together. Check the O-ring on my regulator. Just turn the head on your mill 15 degrees. That's how I made that ingot. I made it 15 degrees, and I actually milled into the half-inch plate so that when you stick the sides on, it was perfect, you know, this way, or as perfect as I could get it there. Maybe I need a bigger propane tank. I don't think that's it. I think it's just that little thing is inadequate. So this regulator, I broke the knob off, but it's at like 28 or something PSI. It's maxed out. It says started at like 15, and then once things heat up, crank it up to 30. But it only goes so far. I cranked it all the way up. The knob broke off, and it's stuck at 30. So that's what we got. I just need a real furnace, not this Chinese Tao thing. But I mean, it was sent to me by that company, so you know I can't complain that it's crap because I didn't pay for it. But I'm going to tell you that it's not like for aluminum. It melts aluminum great. Copper it seems to be struggling with. So we got 2 more minutes. And if nothing's really changed, we're going to put some force induction on that. Step it up a notch. Scrap father, scrap son. A 500-pound aluminum cap. That's crazy. That must have been huge. Aluminum's pretty light. In the future, do I plan on transforming all the copper wires into ingots? No, because I need to turn over my scrap really fast. I don't know how fast the ingots will sell. Like the amount of copper that I get, it would, you know, I could save a bunch of pounds from each load or whatever, but I need to get my money back so that I can put it back out there. I'm sitting on a bunch of ingots, even though I probably get more money for the ingots. I'm still going to need to turn it over at the scrapyard, you know, some of it at least. I mean, we're going to see how it goes. I actually have a website coming. I already have the website, but we're dialing it in to where I'm going to be selling all the stuff on there. Merchandise, the ingots, anything else in the shop. You know, I'll even, you know, I always get the comment, oh, you know, that's worth so much more if you would have sold it. So I'm going to put it on there and see if the stuff sells. If not, then I'm just going to be like, I told you so. Stuff doesn't sell as quick as you would think usually, you know? Like a lot of times the wire. Oh, someone's going to be crying somewhere. I just scrapped out a bunch of brand new transformers in the box. 1,000-watt, high pressure sodiums, 400 watters. As a matter of fact, I just saw the other day on the shelf over here, I have some I've been saving. I'm going to just run them through the press because there's just literally no one's doing them no more. Everybody's into LEDs now. You know, it's not really. I mean, maybe I'll put them on the website, see if anybody wants it. I got a bunch of brand new stuff in the box. We'll see. You got 8 to 12 MRI trailers to tear. Wow. Stainless steel axles. Man, I need a new axle for my other trailer. I'll be doing a trailer rebuild here soon. I bought all the parts to fix my axle, and I have a ton of parts for my crane to upgrade it and fix it and stuff like that. So I need to get that back because having one trailer, you know, kind of sucks. It's like, it was nice having one trailer dedicated for steel and one dedicated for picking up. And an old shop vac will do the job for extra air. Yeah, I do have a shop vac over here. So where are we at? All right, we're 102. I'm gonna check it and see what's happening. Olaf from Hawaii. Go and get a Devil's Forge. Yeah, I keep getting everybody telling me about the Devil's Forge. And obviously it I can see Big Stacked has it, does its job and this and that, but I'm just not gonna buy something that has the devil's name on it. If you look back a while ago, I did a video where I had some Lucifer lighting products, and I literally blessed my hammer and smashed it with the hammer of God, which is right over here, actually. I wonder if it still has the thing on it. Yeah. Jeremiah 51:20, I think, or 5:120. The hammer of God. Okay. I'm not seeing any progress. We're gonna put some forced induction on this thing. I have this little squirrel fan, works pretty good. So last time I put some shielding up so that the blower doesn't cool off the forge. I think I'm going to have to do something similar. think it's kind of goopy. Oh, she's roaring now. Oh. Sorry. So last time I did that, the whole side of the forge started glowing. So it was definitely a big increase in heat. You made your Empire finds. You made yours from a gas canister. And remember the demonic brass statues? What was that? Yeah, I definitely remember that. Those things are creepy, man. I couldn't wait to get them out of my shop. I cut that dude's head off and then smashed it with a hammer. What's up, Ray from Canada? Yeah, I'm actually going to make my own giant hammer. So hopefully this kicks it up a notch. Although I should change the direction of the thing. That thing's blowing. I can feel heat over here. Kind of blowing that heat into my shop. I see a vortex coming out of that thing now, though. Yeah, I'm surprised it hasn't started melting. Last time when I melted this one, it was like bus bar. It wasn't pure copper wire. I wonder if that copper wire has something. It just doesn't want to melt. I stuck that stainless rod down in there. It's kind of soft, but it's not molten yet. What's going on, Tim? What's up, Adam? We're melting copper today, and you didn't miss nothing because it ain't melted yet. The Chinese furnace is doing its Chinese thing and not working properly, I guess. But we just put some forced induction to it, so hopefully it'll kick it up a notch. I'm gonna actually have to rotate that because I can smell that thing is blowing the fumes right at me. Make a giant copper hammer? Yeah, I plan on it. Like a big one. Maybe like a 40-pound hammer. Let me see. I'm gonna open this thing up. I know I probably shouldn't, but I'm just too curious. Oh, it looks like we're getting there. Probably just let all the heat out of it. I gotta rotate this thing though. This thing is walling into my shop. Trying to cover the trying to keep the propane tank out of the sun as much as possible. All right, let's start this back up. Getting there now. Hear that? China. I feel like that thing's not burning right. Sounds like crap, honestly. Man, I think our Something's definitely wrong with this thing. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, that Chinese furnace is on fentanyl. It's like it's coming in and out. It's not even now. It's not even burning right. I think that regulator is shot. We're not even burning right now. I think it's funny. I just looked at it, and then it just kicked on and sounds awesome now. It was like fluttering. It sounded like the fuel stopped. I literally just went and bought a brand new tank for this morning. So many variables with this Chinese stuff. I'm surprised it hasn't blown me up yet. Rick Stewart, what's up from Kentucky? That's awesome. Can I get a shout out to Billy Walker? What's up, Billy Walker? Who's that? Yeah, I don't know how much the ingot's going to weigh. So, number 8 crucible holds approximately 8 kilograms of copper. Hey, man, we deal in pounds over here. Empire Finds. Where are you at? Where are you located? Are you in Canada or something? Am I low on propane? No. The propane was, I literally just got a fresh tank before I started. Yeah, that sound it was making, it was crazy. It's like it was shut off, and then boom, it just popped the light. Now it sounds great. Now it sounds like it's actually going to do something. Did you try lining the tank on its side? No. Is that a thing? Empire finds you from England. That's cool. My grandpa, he loves your videos. That's cool. That's your grandpa, Billy Walker? Well, that's awesome. Thanks for watching, Billy Walker. Oh, thanks for the $1.99 donation. I really appreciate that, man. It was afraid of the hammer I showed. Yeah. So I actually threatened this thing in another video. I was going to put it in the press and just crush it in the 100-ton press for not melting that aluminum the first time. Yeah, so I was this guy Gus. I was just worried that I'd be spending more money on fuel to melt the copper versus just scrapping it. So unless you have an outlet that you're going to sell the ingots or you're going to do something with it, melting copper to scrap is not a thing. Like, you're not going to get any more money at the scrap yard by melting it into an ingot. Scrap yard's just going to pay you a scrap price, and they're probably not even going to buy it because they don't know what's in it or if you've done something with it, unless they got an X-ray gun. If you sell them online, or if you have, like me, I have a plan for them, then it's going to be worth it. And I don't want to be buying propane anymore. This incinerator I have out here runs off diesel fuel, and I'm pretty sure I can convert it to run off of waste oil, which around here, all of my neighbors are mechanics, so I'll have a endless supply of waste oil, and then that's going to do two things. I can burn it to melt aluminum and copper, and also I can burn it in my truck to have like free fuel. It's hot out here in South Florida. We're coming in our summertime. It's going to start cooking. We're going to make a custom AC unit for this shop that's on a cart. It's going to be pretty cool because we need to be working in the AC, especially if I'm going to be back there milling. Next time it messes up, try laying a tank on its side. Yeah, I might do that. I don't understand what's going on with that. It literally was like, it seemed like someone was turning the flow off or something. And then out of nowhere, it just popped on. Now it sounds good. I'm gonna check on it because it looked like it was getting ready to do something. I'm gonna go find some safety glass. It seems like earlier the copper was a little softer than it is now. It's almost like it's losing temperature. I just don't think this thing is adequate for what we want to do. We might have to pull this stuff out here in a little bit and maybe melt some aluminum just so we can get something melting. All right, so I put like a little shield to kind of, I don't know if that thing was cooling down the furnace or what, but I feel like it's not coming up to temperature like it should. Yeah, you know how we're all about safety. Can you guys hear me? I just moved my microphone and it shut off. Hey, thanks for stopping by, Empire Finds. Appreciate all the info and suggestions. Yeah, my regulator could be freezing up. I did kind of put it in the shade. Maybe I should let it sit in the sun. So has anyone ever seen anyone? I think I seen one video of a guy. He said he was melting copper with waste oil. I know Okie Scrapper has a waste oil burner and he melts aluminum with it, but has anyone ever seen him melt copper with that setup? Oh, Adam, are you the one that sent me all them gloves? If you are, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. We already started using them. Um, but I seen this really interesting video of a guy. He built a custom burner for waste oil to melt copper, but he had it was pretty impressive looking. But he was using an air compressor though to introduce. Oh, okay, great, thanks, Adam. He was using an air compressor to introduce more like oxygen into the mix. Um, but I think we could do it with like, a blower like that, or even like a leaf blower or something like that. But I was thinking of pressurizing the oil, um, and injecting it like an injector rather than having it siphon in or something. I think I'm starting to see a little flame come out of that thing. Also, I don't think that lid is does a good job at sealing. I think we're losing a lot of heat. I was thinking maybe I should add like a second burner, give it like a real tornado effect. I'm gonna check it out here. The copper seems like it's right at that right at right at that point where someone had mentioned that it looks like it's going to start sweating. It's like right there, but it's still. I just pushed on it with a stainless rod, and it's still like it's still kind of hard. So I don't know. Oh, the hammer of God was Jeremiah 23:29. It kind of got scraped off of there, but yeah, we might break out the hammer of God and give this Chinese furnace a proper send off here for wasting all of our time and not melting the copper, which is odd because it did melt this copper here and these other aluminum ones. So I do have a bucket of those chips. If we don't get anything going here in the next like 10 minutes, we're going to call it. And maybe I'll just throw some aluminum in there real quick. That seemed to melt really fast. What's up, Super? I don't want to butcher your name, Rashid. Where are you from, man? I always see you in the comments. I can see a flame coming out of there, but it's kind of bright outside, so it's hard to tell. I want to kind of tweak and mess with this thing, but I knew I should have probably tried to do this before a live. I don't know what's up with this thing. It you're from Denmark. That's awesome, man. Yeah, I see you in the comments all the time, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody that leaves a comment and everybody that watches. You know, all the suggestions and stuff like that. Even if it's not something that's applicable to what I'm doing, you know, I do appreciate it and I do think about them. And, you know, I think whether or not it can be implemented in something that I'm doing. Man, I was really hoping to get a giant copper ingot out of this. What if I drilled out the nozzle, like that nozzle that's on that little brass thing? I'm thinking if I drilled it out, I could get a little more fuel in there. But then I think the regulator would limit how much fuel is actually going to come in there. I don't know. Playing with the Chinese stuff is it's like playing with a grenade. Yeah, I was really hoping for a 10-pound ingot, man. But we're coming up on 135. I was kind of try to keep this. Don't drill it. Bad idea. Yeah, that's probably what I was thinking. Please don't start fooling around with propane delivery until you know what you're doing. Dude, I don't know what I'm doing with anything. It's lucky I haven't blown myself up years ago. I mean, a bigger nozzle and more pressure, a little bit more oxygen. I don't see that as a bad thing. We might just melt down this whole little furnace. Or I drill a hole in the side and just add a whole nother nozzle. I think didn't Big Stack have something with two two burners on it or something? I seen he had like a splitter on his propane things one day. I mean, it sounds like something's happening over there. It sounds like it's burning way better than it was, but I don't think we're getting any meltage. Oh, oh man, hey, we're finally getting some meltage. We're gonna pour an ingot. Now I'm excited. I see molten copper in there. All right. All we needed was a little turbocharge. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start feeding more copper in there that it's melting. I need some gloves. Where's my gloves? Finally, it only took an hour and 40 minutes for us to get a puddle of copper in there. Yeah, I seen that Big Stack had that big one. I've only seen him use it once though. Double furnaces. Yeah, we're gonna have to step up our furnace game like big time. We're gonna need something the size of a 55-gallon drum with maybe 4 nozzles. Where's Steve today at church? Yeah, I don't know, man. He might burst in fire if he walks into church. No, I'm kidding. Steve actually believes in God, so that's a good thing. But I don't know if he'd go to church. Steve's probably working on a car, and he blew his tranny again, or he was blowing a tranny, or no, he blew his tranny. Um, yeah, I got to go over there and see him, make sure he's all right. Oh, look at that. Oh, stuck. Okay. I think I'm going to cut this stuff into smaller bits. That way it gets all the way down in there in that molten stuff. I think this is going to take a lot more than this first little section. I think I'm going to let that melt down. Then I'm going to open it up and then I'm going to like pack that stuff in there. Yeah, I hope everybody called their moms today that were able to. A metal scoop. Yeah, that thing was cooking my gloves, man. But at least there's some molten metal down in there. It's melting that copper a lot quicker now. I'm going to cut up some more of that copper. Oh, we lost our, it's getting windy out here. What I started with, I had two big pieces of this that I saved. crucible already. Cut it up in smaller bits. Ooh, man, look at that. We've got about half the crucible. We're going to need to step it up a little bit. Hopefully that stuff melts pretty fast. Yeah, so this ingot maker is literally at the capacity of what that crucible is. I guess I didn't think about it much, but I just kind of made it. But it, it literally took a whole. I had that thing probably filled 90-something%, and this barely. There was still a little bit of room. I could have poured more. So it's going to be a big ingot. I think we're going to wind up going through half of that section of copper wire. What PPE do you have on hand? Today we got the old SIG 45. It's my go-to. It's never too far away. And then we have other stuff laying around. We're all about safety over here. Matter of fact, So the merchandise I'm going to have is going to have a thing about safety on it, you know. It's crazy watching that copper change colors. I think the rest of it I'm just going to feed in through the top. Try to keep that heat in there. Not a Glock. No, man, I'm not a fan of Glocks. I'm not a fan of anything that doesn't have a solid metal frame. My SIG is all, it's got aluminum frame. I had a Smith & Wesson 40 caliber, had a plastic bottom, and it just felt cheap, you know. So it didn't last long, and it jammed on me once. Once a gun jams on me, I don't ever trust it. So usually I get rid of them like relatively shortly after a jam. You know, unless there's an issue like that AR-15 that jammed on me at the gun range. You know, I'm an AK guy. You know, AKs don't jam. AR-15s, apparently you need to hose them down with lube to get them to run. Now it did jam, but once we lubed it up, it ran flawlessly and hasn't jammed since. So apparently you just need to lube your AR-15s, which is a foreign concept to an AK guy. Not a fan of weapons, but have shot 5 different weapons last time I was in Benghazi. What's that? Oh, Vegas. Yeah. All right, let me check on this thing. We're getting some good meltage going on now. I feel like I cooled that thing off um, when I opened that top. Now it's going to take forever to heat back up. Would you go to Vegas to gamble? I grew up outside Atlantic City, and I used to go gamble in there when I was like 16. um, but I'm not a fan of gambling because I also worked at a gas station right outside Atlantic City, and I watched a lot of people come in that just lost everything. Is there any other reason to go to Vegas? I mean, I'm sure there's lots. Um, yeah, I'm not a fan of Vegas. Don't they call that Sin City? Yeah, I watch a lot of people lose everything gambling. So I'm not a fan of that. I don't believe, the casinos, they're, the saying the house always wins is like true because they're basically there to take your money. Even if you go there for women, you're still gambling. Yeah, you might wind up with a dude. You get breathing right. I think I put too much stuff in the top, and it's choking the flow of air coming out. Yeah, we definitely need. You'll get hives for free. HIV, yeah, probably. God knows. Oh, I can actually cover that hole up a little bit. Okay. I mean, there's a lot of stuff blocking it right now, so maybe it's keeping in some more. The Hoover Dam has some serious stators. Yeah, that'd be nice to scrap. I think any old like industrial stuff, it's a shame we've gotten away from quality stuff. Stuff actually built to last. Everything seems like it's built with a lifespan in mind. You know, um, you look at some of the things built 50 years ago that are still around. They'll probably still be around in another 20 or 30 years. Where you could buy something 5 years ago and it's literally fallen apart, which is really sad. Um, which is why I want to be, you know, one of my goals is to become an American manufacturer. I want to make copper products, but you know, I just want to make something that's actually quality. You know, back in the day, you know, when something said "Made in the USA," that was something to be proud of. Now you get "Made in the USA" with global materials on your sticker. So, you know, how proud of that can you be? I think that's a cop out and a sad situation. Yeah. Nowadays we got junk. That's right. Rocky Mountain Prospector. All the old abandoned mines out in the desert have the copper stolen from the lift motors. Man, I wouldn't want to go down in an old mine. Those people that go in them mines are crazy. Like Mount Baker mining metal, he's got that mine he goes in. That dude's crazy, man. I wouldn't want to be in there. I'm gonna see if this thing. We're almost full, so we should be pouring here in a minute. We're past our 2 hour mark, so I'm gonna try to step it up a little bit. Yeah, definitely like molten down there, but still kind of hard. Not like fully molten. Like I can't just push this stainless rod all the way down in there. Yeah, I might just have to let this melt what's in there because it seems like every time I add it, it brings the temperature down. Um, like the whole bottom of it doesn't seem like it's melting. What do we got here? Yeah, I'm cooling it down when I poke the rod in there. Well, I'm actually just trying to like push the little prongs that are sticking up down into the molten stuff. You visited whose machine shop? The Hoover Dam? I need a big lathe. The lathe I got here, I can't even do what I need. I mean, I could do some things with, but it's not big enough. I think we're just going to let this last little bit melt, and then see if we can't pour this thing. We'll have to do some mods to this or something. Maybe add a second burner. That thing's been going for like 2 hours now. It should have already melted. Last time I had the small crucible in there when we melted this one. Maybe it was a little, maybe I have more space to burn in there. I don't know. I just think that this thing is like probably good for aluminum, but copper is like pushing the limits of what this thing could do. You have about 1,000 pounds of copper. You've been saving for 10 years. So Plumber Pete, it depends on what you want to do. You're not going to get any more money out of it smelting it into bars. And matter of fact, some scrap yards probably won't even buy it. So if you're looking just to get your money out of it right now, what do you have? If you're a plumber, you got #1 copper maybe. I think I'm getting like $4 a pound for number or bright and shiny. So like you can get close to $4 a pound for that right now. But if you melt it, you're going to spend a lot of time and money, and you're not going to get, unless you sell it online. Hold on to the copper bars. In a few years, they'll be like gold bars. Maybe. I'm driving, so I can't study your setup. Yeah, this setup is basically the only thing you need to know is China. Okay, that's the setup. That's why it's taken 2 hours to melt. Copper is a limited resource. Mines will eventually run out, and there will be industry to turn to. Recyclers, yeah. Yeah, I guess I should start stacking it somewhere. Got a lot of nails with gold from computers. Yeah, I got a whole 55-gallon drum with computer boards that got gold fingers. I wouldn't throw it out either, man. I've been saving it. I've been adding to it, actually. Copper mines don't make money mining copper. They make their money from the side products such as gold and silver. That's interesting. So if you have mostly #2 copper, I literally just got $3.90 a pound for #2. I don't know where you're from, Plumber Pete. But I sold it in Miami, some #2 copper at like $3.90, $3.95, maybe something like that. $3.90, I think it was. So, depending on your local area, you got 1,000 pounds. And then, I mean, if you clean it up, you can get number one out of it. You got 1,000 pounds of it, and you cut all the solder off. I've made a video on how to do it really fast with some cable cutters, like I see me just using right over there. All right, let me see if this thing's melted. I feel like we're so far away from the top. Let's take a big nugget in there. Still feels like the center of that is not all the way molten, which is really odd. And that wind keeps blowing my thing over. I feel like that blower might be cooling that thing down a little bit. What's up, Brian from Kansas City? Any updates on the forklift? I have it on the other side. I took some things apart. And then I got a diesel generator kind of jammed up in there right now. We fixed for a guy. As soon as I get that out of there, and the incinerator is kind of sitting in the way of that bay, I got to move that stuff. And then we're going to get on that, because that needs to be a priority, because that's like the back saver 5,000 there. Okay, so I should preheat that copper, huh? Yeah, we definitely got a scrap ghost over here or something. Well, hopefully the way that copper's sitting in there now, it's kind of preheating. It should just kind of melt down in there. It did seem like down in the bottom of the crucible, it didn't seem like it was fully liquefied, which is odd being that the top is liquid. Yeah, I just don't think we're getting hot enough. We're probably just like right on the skirt of it melting copper. That's why it's taking so long. We need to be cranking this thing up like way more. And I did notice that the lid, that the Chinese stainless lid, is like kind of deforming. I'm gonna put that crucible or the mold back on. It seemed like when I had that mold on there, it was kind of holding it down, helping keeping the heat in. I think when them big chunks finally get down in there, we're going to be really close. I really got to fill this thing out to its max um, to get the biggest ingot possible. I still think we're going to be a little short though. Half the copper hanging out in the air, it may never reach temp. It's kind of melting down in there. Check my thing. Yeah, that Chinese regulator is just not. I think I'm being limited by multiple things. Yeah, I think it was a bad idea putting them big chunks in there. I should have stuck with the little ones. Seemed like they were melting faster. Don't buy from China. Yeah, they sent that to me, and I'm not impressed. So I didn't see the regulator freezing up. I did put it out in the sun though. I'm just going to let that copper that's in there melt down. It's melting down in there. Let's see if I can't get this camera a little closer. Oh, that stuff is slowly creeping in. It's hard to tell with the. I think once all this falls in, it's melting down in there now. I think I'm just going to call it on that. We're coming up on 2.5 hours. We're going to pour this as soon as this all gets molten. Crazy watching it melt down in there. Once I have molten puddle in the crucible, you can add one piece of copper at a time and watch it melt. It won't affect the temp. You mean like one little tiny? One piece like that? That seems kind of tedious. Shadow is the ghost. Turn my thing on its side. I've been kind of rotating it around. I mean, that thing's been on there for like hour and a half. Don't forget once melts to leave it for another 5 minutes without adding. Okay. So there's still a lot to be left there, but we're just going to let this melt. Um, Maybe I should start pouring in one piece at a time. I still have that little pile there. Yeah, so even if I get this to the temperature where it's molten, it's probably just like right at the molten temperature. It's not well above it to where I think we need to be. Don't keep it outside the furnace too long either. Yeah, just pour what I got. That's what I'm thinking. We'll have to do this again. What's up, David? Watching from North Idaho. Make the ingot online and sell the rest. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to have to do. Is Steve there? No. Um, we gotta be molten. I'm gonna just kind of stick a long piece of copper in there and see if I can get it to the bottom. This will be my stir. Hey, that's it. I'm gonna get this set up to pour. We'll let that cook off for a couple minutes. I see what you're saying about adding like one piece at a time. It took that whole thing really fast. Give it 10 minutes cooking off like this. Now that it's liquid, that piece did melt in there pretty quick. So hopefully at least it'll be around this size. But we'll pour it flat so it's not, funny looking. I think what I'm going to do is go find a piece of ceramic that I had. Or I guess I could just pour it on that aluminum. I know concrete is funny about hot stuff. Yeah, it looks ready. I think I'm going to send it, man. Let me get geared up. I didn't even get to use my big spoon. Okay, we're going to go for it. Wow, it's so much heavier than it looks. Man, look at that thing. Yeah, we would have had to fill that thing all the way to the top. Looking good. How much you think that thing's going to weigh? I'm going to say between 8 and 10 pounds, maybe. 8 or 9 pounds. Yeah. How long do you think that thing is going to take before I can flip it over? So that mold sat on top of that furnace for like an hour cooking. Yeah. So one thing I'm going to have to get, one thing I'm definitely going to have to get is a thermometer that reads higher than 900. The one we had in here before only read 900, 920, I think. You can already see the bottom cooling off. Bottom of I guess that's the top. I don't know. Dump it. All right, we're gonna dump it. Put my glasses on just in case. Woo! Man, look at that. I'm gonna hit that with the hose. Does it matter if I hit it with the hose or hit it with? I don't have an ice block. We're just gonna hit it with the hose anyway. I have a bunch of metal in the bottom of this bucket, so it's not gonna touch the bottom. Whoa! That was freaking cool. Change the color. Wow, it made this water so hot. That's crazy. bucket that hole. I'm going to put this down in there for a minute. That water running there. Yeah, there's big chunks of metal down in the bottom of that bucket. So it never touched the bottom. Yeah, and I have a brick down in there. I knew I was going to do that. Wow, that's crazy. I can't believe it how hot that water was coming out of there. I'm just going to let it kind of circulate and cool down. Yeah, I always like when Big Stack drops them on them ice things and they kind of melt through it. That's pretty cool. But that copper seems like it retains a lot of heat. Here we go. First big copper ingot here in the shop. Definitely had some issues. Look at all this pitting in the bottom and this big old spot here. Let me go get my little scale. We're going to get a weigh in on this. Y'all see that? Hold on. Anyway, I'll tell you what it is. Wow. 10.24 pounds. So we did a 10-pound ingot and we weren't even all the way full on that crucible. Let's see how it stacks up. Well, it's about the same size as that, but whoops. We had a lot left to go. See that? Man, what a difference. That is freaking awesome. So, lots of imperfections in this. So this is definitely going to have to be heated up more. But look at them crisp edges. I mean, that's what we're kind of going for. But there is a big divot right here. And this, whatever happened there, I think that was like the first droplet that hit and it instantly cooled. And then almost looks like it made an air pocket around it. I don't know. It's pretty weird how that stuff happens. So I'll probably just hit this with like a wire brush and clean it up a little bit. But look at them nice crisp sides, man. That's what I'm going for. See how, let me get that right in on the camera. See how straight that is? Like a laser beam. Now, obviously, we have to work on our pouring technique and our heat. I don't think, like the guy said, we should be probably a couple 100 degrees over melting temp, and I think we were really close to that. And I probably could have heated up that thing, even though that thing was hot. I'm thinking we need to get them molds almost as hot. About $40 worth of copper right there, yeah. Or since they're selling copper online for like 4 times as much as a scrap value, that's a big ingot, man. So I'm going to say that's halfway success because we didn't fill out the whole mold. And it took us 2 hours, and we're almost 2 hours and 50 minutes into this. So definitely we need to step up our furnace game. And you know, definitely going to have to do something different about this. But that's crazy how this stuff makes that texture. Like even this one's got the same texture on the top as it's cooling. It kind of like shrinks together. That's pretty interesting. But we are getting one step closer to having perfect ingots. We're just going to have to get our pour down a lot better and our temperature up. So let's see what we got here. We're going to close this out here in a minute now that we finally poured some copper. So you think it'll hold 12 pounds fully done? Yeah, I'd probably say we can probably squeeze another 2 pounds in there. I think this one here was like 2 pounds. So that flattened out across there would probably do it. It seemed like there was a lot to be left in that thing. So you cannot sell that first ingot. Put it on your shelf. Yeah, I'm going to. All these ingots that I have here. I mean, obviously the one this guy sent me. That was awesome of him to do that. But my actual first ingot, my second ingot, and then this jalopy. You know, we're going to keep all of these as a reminder of where we came from and where we're going. You know, we're going to get copper looking like this. This was actually, I like this pour. In my opinion, this was my best pour. But aluminum obviously is easier to pour because you can bring that to such a higher temperature with this China-made thing. But for a first pour of the big ingot maker, yeah, I've already got some things I'm thinking about. And I don't know if I want to actually continue with this little forge because I feel like I'm wasting a lot of time with it. We're going to have to step that up to something bigger. Or hot rod this thing and put another burner on it, even though it's kind of small. We might just save this one for small aluminum melts. I don't know. You don't think I'm going to be able to do much about the pitting? I think if I can get the mold hot and we tap it or vibrate it, like when me and Steve pulled that one, he was tapping it. Maybe hit the mold with a torch before pouring the copper. Red hot would be perfect temp for pour. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's why I was saying I'd like a double decker furnace, something to utilize the heat coming off of that thing, and maybe even add another burner to heat the molds up. Or once it's in the mold, just basically make the mold like the crucible. You know, it should just kind of be there. Um, yeah, thanks, man. Dacian, sorry if I butchered your name. Yeah, this copper is definitely not as easy as it as melting aluminum. I appreciate that. How about preheating in the electric kiln folks? That's a really great idea. You know what? We're going to try that. Crystallization formation. Start selling bars on eBay. That's kind of is there any copper left in the crucible? That's a good question. Let's go check that out. Just a couple little pebbles, like little beads. Pretty much all that copper came out. Yeah, that copper rolled right out of there, man. There's hardly anything left in there. So we'll try a combination of a couple things. But yeah, I definitely think getting the mold hot, getting the copper up to a higher temperature is going to be key. But you know, I think we did okay for a 10-pound pour. My second copper pour, we went from 2 pounds to 10 pounds. So obviously the next one's got to be at least 40 or 50 pounds. We're going to have to step it up a couple notches over here. A 55-gallon drum with KAO wool would work as a furnace. Yeah, well, I have that incinerator. It's got a probably bigger than a 55-gallon drum size thing with fire brick, but it's horizontal. So what I'm thinking about doing is taking it apart and reassembling it facing up, something I can drop. You know, I'm thinking I'm going to need like a gantry, because that 10-pound thing was heavy. Like that was kind of sketchy on that little crucible. Picking that up and flipping it, I'm going to need like something serious to pick up a lot of weight, you know. Make the burners out of pipes. Well, that incinerator has all kinds of burners and stuff in it, so we're gonna actually fire that thing up and see what it can do by itself. There's some aluminum cans in there that were melted, and it says it does 1,000 degrees Celsius. And I don't think, and there's all kinds of adjustments on them burners. We're going to do a video on that thing maybe next week, and see what we can do. And then, you know, who knows? Maybe we just need to up the pressure, because it does have a fuel pump in it, or change out the nozzle. I don't know, but we're definitely going to play with it and see if it's got a dual burner system. So it's got the fire bricks down here, and then it has a scrubber, which is basically just another burner burning the fumes off. So we'll utilize both of them somehow and make like a really badass system. Something to where either I can load the stuff in from, I think I just need to get it from the top somehow. I don't know. But 10 pounds, 20 pounds, I want to, you know, I want to melt a lot at once. And like I said a couple years ago, once I start melting copper into ingots, I'm going to make the biggest ingot you've ever seen on YouTube. And it's going to be it's going to be big. So we'll get there. This is just the start, you know. And then these things here, they're going to be. I have a cool plan for this. It's not just going to be an ingot. It's going to be something cool. Something that can be tailored to individuals or mainly my customers, and then even potential customers. So, 1,000 degrees Celsius is 1832 Fahrenheit. So that's just shy of what copper melts at. So we're going to have to tweak it. We might have to inject some nitrous or propane into it with it. Step up the pressure or the oxygen a little bit. Better start looking for building a blast furnace. Yeah, we're gonna be looking into something. Too bad I can't. I mean, I really wanted to use electric because of the electric's included here, and as high as the rent is, I might as well use as much of it as possible. But you know. Anyway, we just hit 3 hours. So on that note, I want to thank everybody for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. I know it was like last minute and on a Sunday and on Mother's Day, which again, happy Mother's Day to my mother and to all the mothers out there, all you guys, you guys in the chat. I hope you had a great day with your moms, and I want to step up my game with some of your setups. Yeah. We're going to be stepping up a lot of things over here soon. So anyway, I really do appreciate you guys coming on the stream. We're going to have more of them. I really do appreciate all the suggestions and the comments and, the feedback. Definitely, it helps. And on that note, we're going to call this. And, I got some videos coming. Some stripping videos. We got some. I recovered some transformers. I got. Probably can't see it, but over here, I got another big old automatic disconnect. We're going to be doing a video on. I got some other little stuff and some micro scrapping. We'll pull some copper out of that and melt it down. Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Mom. I'm glad I got this melted. I didn't think it was going to happen. Like the first time I tried to melt. And I think it is a lot of me playing with it, and then stuffing, like Scrapman said, stuffing too much in there at once, cooling it down. Putting one piece at a time. I took one long piece and folded it in half, and it just kind of sunk right down in there. If I would have done that steady, I probably could have done this a lot quicker. So. Hey, it's a learning curve. I'm just getting into this, but you know how we are over here, man. We're going to take things to the next level. So if you come this far, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video. Oh, and go check out my Instagram. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff over there, so help me get those numbers up, and so we can get Instagram to start pushing content or pushing people over to YouTube. And I will be doing a giveaway on there shortly. Once I get my stuff, we're going to have a cool, something cool going on with that. So again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.